1.5 trillion naira deductions. Tinubu should be impeached. Former Kaduna State Governor and senior political figure Malam Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai has stirred fresh controversy in Nigeria's political space after openly accusing President Bola Tinubu of committing what he described as a grave constitutional violation that should warrant impeachment. El-Rufai made the allegation during an interview on Prime Time, a flagship political program on Arise television. According to him, the federal government has allegedly been deducting 100 billion naira every month from the federation account without legislative approval, an action he insists is unconstitutional and illegal. The former governor claims these deductions have been ongoing for over 15 months, bringing the total amount allegedly removed from the federation account to 1.5 trillion naira. Speaking firmly during the interview, El-Rufai stressed that his claims were not speculative or politically motivated, insisting that he was relying on official government data. In his words, "Government data, I am not quoting something out of the air. So for that 100 billion naira that goes out every month from the federation account without appropriation by the National Assembly, and by the way, without appropriation by the state assemblies, because part of the money belongs to the state." El-Rufai explained that under Nigeria's federal structure, funds in the federation account belong jointly to the federal government, the states, and the local governments. Therefore, any deduction or expenditure from that account must follow strict constitutional and legislative procedures. Welcome to Light Up Media News. For accurate news stories, subscribe, comment, like, and put on your notification bells to be aware when our news stories drop. According to El-Rufai, in Nigeria's 1999 constitution as amended, no money can be withdrawn for public funds without approval by the appropriate legislative bodies. At the federal level, this approval must come from the National Assembly, while funds belonging to states must be approved by state houses of assembly. El-Rufai argues that bypassing these institutions amount to direct violation of constitutional order. So each state assembly is supposed to appropriate that part. So the entire deduction and expenditure is unconstitutional. It's an impeachable offense, he said. Beyond the constitutional concern, El-Rufai raised pointed questions about accountability and transparency. He asked, where exactly has the 1.5 trillion naira gone? What has it been spent on? Why has the security concern continued to deteriorate despite massive government spending? So where has the 1.5 trillion naira gone? What is it being used for? Why is the security situation just getting worse? Nigeria continues to grapple with banditry, kidnapping, insurgency, and communal violence, even as defense and security spending remains one of the largest items in the national budget. El-Rufai further linked the alleged deductions to the worsening security situations across the country, questioning why communities are increasingly being told to defend themselves. Why is the government asking communities to protect themselves, he asked. In recent months, several state governments and traditional institutions have openly discussed community policing, local vigilante groups, and self-help security arrangements, a development many analysts see as a sign of weak central security control. In one of his most striking remarks, El-Rufai reflected on the contrast between campaign promises and current realities. He recalled the optimism that surrounded the 2023 elections, especially among members of the ruling political coalition. Look, if you asked me in 2022 or 2023, when we were campaigning, that things would ever be this bad, I would say that they are mentally ill. This comment has fueled speculation about deepening cracks within the political establishment, especially among former allies of President Tinubu. Subscribe, comment, like, and share our videos. And don't forget to put on your notification bell. Nasir El-Rufai is not just any political commentator. He's a former minister of the Federal Capital Territory, a two-term governor of Kaduna State, and a central figure in Nigeria's reformist political bloc. His statements carry weight not only because of his experience but also because he has previously been aligned with the political forces that brought the current administration into power. As such, his call for impeachment is seen by analysts as extraordinary and potentially destabilizing if it gains traction within political institutions. How realistic is this impeachment call? Under Nigeria's constitution, impeaching a sitting president is a complex and politically demanding process. It will require clear evidence of gross misconduct, support from a significant number of lawmakers, a multi-stage legislative procedure involving investigation and voting. While El-Rufai insists the alleged actions qualify as impeachable offenses, political observers note that impeachment often depends as much on political will as on legal merits. So far, the presidency has not officially responded to the allegations. The comments have triggered intense debate across social media platforms, political circles, and civil society groups. Supporters argue that the allegations deserve transparent investigations, while critics accuse El-Rufai of political grandstanding or internal power struggles. Regardless of motive, the issue has once again brought public finance transparency, federalism, and constitutional governance into sharp focus. Whether or not El-Rufai's claims lead to impeachment proceedings, they raise fundamental questions about how Nigeria manages shared national resources, the role of legislative oversight, and the accountability of those in power. As Nigerians await clarification or official response from the federal government, one thing is clear: the debate over 1.5 trillion naira constitutional order and the limits of executive power is far from over. As the 2027 elections draw closer, it is clear that the media will be inundated with claims and counterclaims from political actors from various divides. In order to draw support from voters, it is imperative that the National Assembly look into these allegations in order for the Nigerian public to get clarity. This is a developing story. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, share, and put on the notification bell for you to be informed when the follow-up drops.